Hello, this is Brenda Bates, Medicine Woman, and today's show is Medicine Woman Reveal. With me is
Jen Toffel, Medicine Woman.
And we're happy to have you. This is a glorious new year, and we're going to allow ourselves to learn, grow, and choose again. So, before I go into anything else, I love having callers, so we'll take that first call. How about that?
Alrighty. We have area code 513. You are on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, this is Jen. How are you?
We're good, and how are you?
I'm doing good. I've actually never called into this show before, so do I just ask a question, or how does that work?
If you have a question that's burning inside of you, we'd rather answer that. Otherwise, we can have a general question to find out exactly what could be blocking you from going forward.
Okay, yeah, let's do the general info.
Oh, you got it. Okay, so what do I see? I see energies, and I use a pendulum, and I use many things that I wrote down to help guide me through this. They're saying that there's thoughts. There's a lot of thoughts of people in your head, so they're using the healing tool, thought management. Now, these thoughts are thought management. It's a healing tool we'll explain in a minute. But it is these thoughts of people, like you go and you let's say you want to buy a dress or a piece of clothing, and you're looking at it, and then all of a sudden you have somebody pop up in your head, go, oh no, you can't afford that. Oh no, that wouldn't look good on you. And it's all these critics. It's all these people that are telling you about your life except for you. They sound like your voice. But if you really were to put a face on them, it could be your mom or your dad or your boyfriend. You know what I mean? Anybody.
Right.
So do you
Makes sense.
Okay, so does that happen to you a lot when you're about ready to do something, you end up talking yourself out of it because somebody else says no?
Right, yep.
Okay. They say that interferes a lot, especially that's why, so are you a type of person that has a hard time making a decision?
Okay.
Do you have a hard time making a decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Because when you're clear,
Yeah, usually,
go ahead.
okay. Usually I just like to make a solid decision and then I go all at it, you know?
Good.
I like to put all into it, so.
Can you make a snap decision, or do you have to do research?
Research.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with research. Research is good. But there are times when you need to make a snap decision. And especially just for when it's for you. And that's what they're saying, is that it interferes with manifesting quicker into your life. So they're saying just be aware that these extra thoughts don't need to be in there. You need to kick them out of your head, and we have a healing tool for that. Jen, have you drawn any cards?
So I was just tuning in. So what was going on in your life when you were 4 years old?
4? Oh my gosh, nothing that stands out in my head.
Okay, because they're showing me a picture of you, and it may go to the decision process, because I see you just kind of not able to focus on something. You're in a little dress, and you're looking around, and you're looking around, and you're looking around, and unable to really zero in or focus on one thing. They're just showing me that, and they're showing me that.
Well,
image.
as far as what I see along with that is a little girl that gets startled when she's about ready to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she
If
stops.
you were to put your energy on something, what would be the consequence of that?
So what they're saying is that in order to move forward, you have to be aware of the fact that there's something that happened. And it is nothing bad. Sometimes it's just getting yelled at. Don't touch that, because they're trying to protect you.
Right, out of safety or something like that.
But how does a child interpret that? Well, in this case, one of the things that you did was that you don't really know if you want to be in the decision-making process, but being that now you chronologically age is part of life. You have to do something. You have to make certain decisions. And so it may have been drilled into you that you need to research, research, research. I'm going to tell you, when you do certain researches, make sure you don't just look for the answer you're seeking. For instance, I had this guy that didn't like me, but his wife did, and all he did was look for something bad. He went through the internet, he went all over, he found this, this, and this that he deemed as bad, And instead of looking for both sides of the story, where it's positive and negative, instead he was just trying to figure out how to get me out of his wife's life. And so when you're researching, you know, be open to both sides of the story so that you can make a clear decision. Again, in order to do that, you may have to kick some people out of your head, because I feel like they have an idea, authoritarian. So that makes me ask, does she have her authority in her life? Oh, good, she does. That's excellent. Okay, so Jen drew a card.
And I'm going to read, the card befuddles me, but I'm just going to read it as is and then see and go from there. Okay, so I'm using the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed, and it is the Desert Prince, which is as Challenger. Don't be fooled by the beauty of the Desert Prince now, for you're being faced with a mirage. Sometimes you can't see the truth because your thirst for achievement and recognition may blind you to the true nature of your situation. Perhaps, too, circumstances prevent you from being able to see with clarity. Beware when faced with something that seems too perfect, miraculous, and easy. If you think it's too good to be true, it is.
So she don't believe it because it's in reverse?
Yeah, and so then I was looking at the desert, and I don't know if that sounds, you know, right or not, but I also want to read it. So the Desert Prince is also being able to thrive in a desert environment, and that can be a good thing, but then it can also start to, as we've discovered, can start to be a negative when that's all, when you create the desert environment instead of being able to thrive in other types of environments.
I need to ask you a question. In a relationship level, are you wanting to get married, or are you married?
I am married.
Are you, okay, so I was trying to figure out if it's in a relationship, in people, or if a relationship in something else, like with work, education, kids. The reason why is because there's something that you need to make a commitment to, a decision. Because the wedding card popped up and it says this is a situation where it involves marriage, which is the combining of two things. It is balancing out something. It is making that commitment. And so do you have anything in the horizon where you feel like you have to make a commitment to something and you're not sure if you want to?
Right.
Okay, in this...
I am trying to get back to, I stay at home with our kids,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trying to get back into the workforce.
There we go. Okay, so the two cards
I
that...
haven't committed to it.
Yeah, the two cards that fell out of the deck about that, because I'm like, okay, I don't think this is marriage. The first one, just a minute, the first one was about the deep freeze. It says nothing you can do right now will amount to anything substantial. You don't try to push or manipulate. And then the other card that popped up said the map shifter, and it's in reverse. It says, may bring you the opposite of what you seek. Perhaps you're in denial about your situation and refuse to see the truth. Well, what they're referring to is if you're doing something that somebody else tells you that you have to do, it's those voices in your head again.
Right, it's funny when you said marriage, it sounded like mirage. We said marriage really quickly, and that's why I grabbed this, because it sounded like you said mirage.
So if we look at this word, the survival and promises, she can survive and do wonders with being a wife and a mother and whatever it is that she wants to do in the household, but
given too many options, that may be what's
I think the options is not even hers. I think somebody's telling her options.
So I wonder if that's why I've been, because we tune into the people before they call into our show, we'll just say, I've been contemplating about this idea of the idea of when I was forced to go get that insurance job, even though I was minister, and how detrimental that was to my body and physical being.
So do your husband or your family in any form think they know better than what you do?
That's very possible.
Because I feel in your heart you know that you're supposed to be there with those kids right now.
I'm supposed to be with the kids, you said?
Yeah. I mean, there's a part of you in your heart, you're feeling that you know where your place is supposed to be, but you have all these people telling you that you know you should be doing this.
Yeah, I think I'm really bored is what it is. Because all my kids are in school now, so...
Okay.
I need to get out.
So let's
out of
do...
the house, I think.
Let's do one more thing.
I contemplate on finding the perfect hours so I can still be there for the kids. So.
Are you a type of person? Are you a type of person that's not supposed to sit still? If you got caught, you're supposed to be busy looking?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
That is what's going on here because
Yeah.
my husband,
Don't like to not work.
yeah, my husband, you know, that was instilled to him, and all of a sudden I'd be in the same room and he would be, and all of a sudden he's got to go to work, and I'm like, what are you doing? Can't you just sit with me? And I realized the pattern. I said, can we address this and resolve this issue so that you can actually sit there and enjoy me and enjoy the computer and do what you want? And now he has, and he's able to enjoy it, because before it's like he had felt guilty. Oh my God, I'm watching TV. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that. And then he has to get up and move. So,
right. There's truth to that, for sure.
So the thoughts are these people that are telling you, you know, what to do, how to do it, and all of these things. And so I would tell you that you need to do thought management first. Okay, so that you'll find that on our website. But the second thing I'll have you go look for when you're ready to do it, and if you do this and really get it out, you will then be able to have better results. Now I gotta find the phrase, like you know the words, and you'll figure out exactly what you need to say, because you'll know I can't sit still, or I'm gonna get caught, or no, that's not the words. I have to look busy. You know, you'll know because the words will pop out of your head.
I don't know if you had any of the beliefs like idle hands, you know, or the devil's playground or something like that. I don't, or that may have been in the person who, you know, said those things to you, regardless if those phrases came out or not.
All right, so they're saying that they want you to do EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, and the emotions are driving you to keep that story in practice. For every thought we think, we create chemical peptides to make us become something, to feel something, to be that feeling. And so the EFT is they want you to focus on the words that pop up in your head. Again, I can't see them because you have several words, but all I can hear is other people's voices in your head right now. And are you familiar with EFT?
Yeah, somewhat. I've never done it, but
okay. What we're going to do is we're going to tell you where to go, and and instead of just EFT, you can also do just the meridian tapping. There's an extra point that they want you to pay attention to because your body goes in an alarm system, and as soon as you start to hear these voices, and that the back of the hand, on the back of the hand, if you go where the pinky and the ring finger is, and you follow them straight down the bones, you'll actually see on the back of the hand where they come to a peak. But in between there is this gap, and that is the spot that they want you to just tap at. Now, if you watch EFT all the way through, you'll see me tapping the back of that hand. And then if you do the meridian tapping all the way through, that's good. But basically, they want you to understand that when you're walking around and you start to feel like, oh my God, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or I feel like someone's watching me, or I'm a bad person because I'm not working, you tap the back of your hand. Okay. Then what happens is when you do the EFT, where you go and you tap all around and say the phrase, even though, and you insert your words, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. What happens is you're going to be free to decide what direction in life and purpose you want, not what everybody else tells you that you want. Okay? So you guys, I just gave you several things to do. We want you to go to mwreveal.com. M is in medicine. W is in women. Reveal. mwreveal.com. And you look on the left-hand side, look for the word healing tools, and then a drop-down menu, and then you can go ahead and find those healing tools: thought management, EFT, and meridian tapping. Re-listen to the archives so you understand what I want you to focus on, what I want you to tap out, what I would like you to do. We also do a video version, so that'll be up in the next couple days if you wanted to watch me in action about where to tap on the back of my hand and all this other stuff. Okay, dear?
okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Stay
calling.
blessed, dear. And we're back. So who's next up, Jen?
We have area code 781. You're on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
Hi, it's Laura.
Hi.
Hi.
How can we help you, dear?
Hi. So I'm at a crossroads in my life right now. I'm kind of end of school, undergrad school, and I'm kind of unsure about where to go next. I see my life going in a few different directions, kind of depending on what I choose, and it's all surrounding healing, kind of with my hands, like body work. So I'm either deciding about like physical therapy or more, I'm much more drawn to the craniosacral energy healing work, but I'm not sure if the regular schooling is going to be needed.
All right, I will tell you right off the bat, you want to be a very successful energy healer because that was a card I drew before you said it. But I will tell you right now, if you want to do the best for people, Energy Medicine by Donna Eden. She has all these classes of starting up to... Why I help people the most is that because of Donna Eden's information, plus many other wonderful healers that I've run across, she has a 9-body system. She looks at your energy. I use these every day. I'm becoming more in a habit of them. So if something's off, I go and I find out which system is down. And I then check to see which healing tool I need to use. And then instantly I'm starting to be corrected. We are constantly made of energy all the time. Our emotions can be a trap. I can show you another healing tool that would help you release the trapped emotions. But as far as getting your feet wet, getting in there and getting the fastest results possible, energetic-wise, I would tell you to look towards Donna Eden's program. Excuse me. Inner Source. I can't remember if it's innersource.com or innersource.org, but look up Donna Eden, and she's got all these wonderful programs. Because I tell you, they have saved my life. They have helped out in any of my relationships with my kids, my friends. That's what makes me a great teacher, is learning from her. She has awesome CDs that you can learn from. And that's the direction I would tell you to go, because I can tell you that you want to be the best and you want results. You don't want to just do it and get discouraged. That is a learning process that people have to go through. But at the same time, you start to get results, and that will give you the encouragement and the hope to stay on this track. I like craniosacral, yes I do, but I also know that the 9 systems that run in our body, when I start to correct those, I don't even use my craniosacral hardly anymore, because it's not needed, because the energy recorrects itself. And craniosacral does work, and it's needed at times because I do use it. What was the other thing you said besides craniosacral?
Well,
Physical therapy.
those are the kind of
Okay.
things I'm more drawn to. But then there's the regular physical therapy track, which I think would give me more opportunities to treat patients, even though it's not exactly the way I want to.
Yes. Now here's the thing: a lot of it has to do with logistics. You know, in order to touch somebody, you got to be able to be a nurse. They're really even making it harder for physical therapists because they want you to become more like chiropractors than anything. So keep an eye on that, because you may have to keep increasing your education. Physical therapists are awesome. They do wonders because they help move things. They help restore retract the memory and the body so that it can release the old crap. If you can stand touching people, then maybe massage therapy, but that's also tricky because the way the world runs.
The licensing.
But the one that's going to cost you more would be the physical therapist, or become a nurse, or however you want to do it. But the point is that usually it's logistics. Okay.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to be a lay person, make sure that you. I hate to say just do this, but become a reverend. Get that piece of paper. But be dedicated in your craft. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm going to have this piece of paper," and because we don't need any bad eggs. We want people that are really dedicated and wanting to really help people heal themselves, because we can't help anybody heal. But again, I see that it's logistics. If you're going to go in the area of it. I'm going to check a little deeper. Jen, what did you get so I can look?
Okay, so the cards that I pulled from Earth Magic from Stephen Firmer. So something does need to be rebirthed, and maybe that's the question that you're asking. So you have these interests and that kind of thing. So what does need to be rebirthed. Maybe you've been doing something and then you're shifting it in a new direction, and the reflection card came up, and that's exactly what you've been doing with us, is this reflection process. So whatever they're saying is to be, it's just to be activated.
Okay.
And so it seemed what we were just talking about, the cards reflect that.
All right. Now, what's interesting is that I can't apparently spell it, but esthetician. Did I say it right?
Yes. The face.
Yeah. Now that
skin.
Do check in with logistics on this, but because you become an esthetician, you'd be able to touch people, and that is your main issue with any thing when it comes to becoming a healing practitioner. Be careful also how you use and say what you're going to call yourself. On energy medicine, I think it's Inner Source again, going back to Donna, there's a whole beautiful website that talks about logistics and checking out your state and your area, what to call yourself. Make sure you tell people this is entertainment purposes only and all of this, la-da-da-da-da. But I feel like that's the certainty you need before you can move forward in the direction you want, because I know you really want to help people, but there is that logistics. So, esthetician, I think, is the shortest, quickest, cheapest way to, well, I don't want to say it's cheapest or the shortest, because I know another way too, but to show people that you are serious about wanting to help somebody, and it's safe that you can touch somebody, and you're doing it with protocol and respect. So I would check into that, or just Google and say, what other license that legally lets me touch somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
To protect you, to protect yourself, to do the work that you want to do in the current way that things are being governed right now.
So you don't, again, even if you do hands-off healing, you're still in the presence of another human being, and that you also then have to remember to watch your P's and Q's. Do not say the word cure. Do not say the word, oh gosh, there's a whole list of words, and all of a sudden they just left my head. But
which is interesting, because on the emotion code or the body code website
they're a doctor though.
Well, I've been citing that in blogs and that kind of thing, that Dr. Oz is on there, and he may be able to say it because he's a physician.
Yes,
to say that energy medicine is the next thing on the frontier. So he's able to say it because of his licensing and that kind of thing, where we can't touch those kinds of
This whole world's based on hierarchy and who's in control of who.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm just trying to navigate that.
Yeah, and so again, I think you're going to be great at it. That looks awesome. Get the logistics, go find something that your heart can follow, because when you put your time and commitment into doing something, you gotta want to do it. Like, I don't want to be a massage therapist. I don't want to touch people's skin. I don't mind touching them through their clothes. I don't mind holding their hand. I don't mind maybe touching their face. But you gotta enjoy it. You gotta be able to withstand your job.
Right, because the massage therapist with the little latex gloves on is kind of weird.
Yes. So, anyways, I see that you're heading in the right direction, and you're actually excited, and get into that spark. Learn to let spirit talk to you, and use synchronicity. Use the golden lasso. We have that on the website. And if you just take the golden lasso and put your dreams out there and start to pull it in and do exactly what it says, you should be able to start removing mountains and to getting closer to what you want. Yeah, she's just very excited. You need to keep that passion and conviction so that you can go in the direction you need. So just be guided. Synchronicity will show you and point you to the way, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, and bless you, dear. Okay, who's the next one up?
We have area code, wait for it, 678. You are on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome. How can we help you?
Yeah, I just wanted a general reading
Okay.
in regards to how life will be for me in 2013.
Okay. Okay, now all of a sudden, energetic-wise, I'm seeing all of these, now remember, I'm not physically seeing these, but I see all these little whirlpools in front of me. And these are whirlpools I'm seeing, or they're showing me, little energy centers that are going all over, but they are made of water, so they they're showing me they look like emotional issues, just certain little emotional. Are you able to do what you want without pissing people off?
No.
Okay, that's why I see all these little whirlpools, because it's everybody else's shit that's trying to get in your way. All right, because of that, he has some emotion that's trapped, and they said there's a cording. Okay, so that means there's an energy cord that's either coming from them to you or you to them, and it needs to be cleared. Now, the main thing that happens, so I just have to look at this, and it's about sabotage. So, identifying and locating the type of sabotage. Now, do you have people that sabotage your life? Or seem to?
Well, it's just these people who we don't get along with. I can say that they are not into spirituality in terms of. Okay, they are more in the traditional forms of Christianity or
Yes.
spirituality.
Okay, that's probably why when I first looked, they showed me some different kind of gods and goddesses, you know, different kinds of, so that to me was religion, but I wasn't sure, you know, so I let that one go and let them show me the next thing. So, you're finding your individuality and you're learning to be you, and other people are not quite liking the fact you're breaking protocol or you're not doing it their way. And the first time that ever happened to you, from what I can see, was age 16. And they're saying that's the first time you felt like people's arrogance, you actually woke up and saw, you know, that they're standing over you going, oh, I don't think so, you need to be doing this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is the first time I've seen you wake up and going, no, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. Now, that's important because that's what's going to keep your head above water, that's what's going to keep you strong, and that's what actually gives you hope. And that's always a good thing. The thing that they want you to understand is the thing that stops you from actually causing you to achieve more than what you've already achieved is that how you know arrogant people. Now, this is what they call a fueling process. You don't have to be like them, that's great, but it's how you know them and don't like them. Even though your heart's open and you send love, it's like, I don't want to become that. Or I don't, it's all of that, help me, Jen, because it's all of that, I don't want this, that actually fuels the thought and those people to stay in existence.
Like fighting the government,
Protesting.
being anti-war. You have to, if you're against something, that means that something has to exist in order for you to fight against it, if that makes sense.
And what's happening is that somehow it keeps you re-pulling back to your focus back onto that, and you're like, but I don't want that, I want to look at this. So what they want you to do is to clean that cord up, and that's what ends up happening. So how you know arrogance, they're telling me to tell you it's time to define and redefine. Part of what becoming a spiritual human, and that's what people are doing in this new particular age, is when you define it, there's arrogance. Now look around and how many times did you see arrogance around? How do you define it? How does your friend define it? How does the world define it in your mind? And then go to the dictionary and see how they define it. In your case, you may have to go to religions to find out how they define it. And once you start to gather this information, it's like a map. Once you unfold that beautiful, crisp map, and it's hard to fold it right back into its neat, pristine way it was, because you can't, once you expand, you can't really go back to the way you used to be, because now you have more knowledge, you have more, strength. So we want you to break the fuel between arrogant people, but first you got to define it. And then you have to see where arrogance seems to be in your life, whether you have it, or you seem to draw it in, or you seem to watch it on TV, or you see, it's there. It's got your attention. One way or other, it's forcing you to focus on that, and you've got to be done with it. Once you have started to wrote your journal, noticed how this follows you everywhere, then you get to break it. this is where you do a cord switching. The healing tool that I would recommend is cord switching. And then where you go is mwreveal.com. M is in medicine, W is in women, reveal.com. Look under the healing tools on the left. You'll see cord switching. And if you sign up to the newsletter, I don't think I have it on that website, but if you sign up to the newsletter, you'll actually get a free meditation about helping you release cord switching, or release the cords. And for that one, for that sign up to the newsletter is www.medicinewoman with the letter A, medicinewoman, the number 4, the letter U.com. If you're in the chat room, Jen will be writing it in there,
Yes.
so that you can see it. If you go to mwreveal.com, you will see a picture of me, or you will see Medicine Woman for You. Click on it. It'll take you, link will take you right to the other space. And then you scroll down until you see the newsletter. But there's a lot of good stuff that we've told you. Do you understand what we need you to do?
Good.
And you can, if you apply this, and you start to, especially doing the cord switching, what you're going to do is you're going to start to release these trapped emotions. You're going to release these cords that do not need to be in your space, and you'll actually be able to take your focus off arrogance, and then the attraction factor will change so that you can actually start weeding out the people that think that they have control over you, and that you'll start to have to be okay to lose your family friends because you're going to have them show up in another way, meaning the lens to how you saw them will drop. You may have to do other healing tools or call back in so we can finish it up in another way. One healing sometimes is not enough. You need to do more. But they will actually get to show up differently to you, or you'll start bringing like-minded friends in that will actually support you and guiding you on the path that you're seeking. Okay?
Okay.
Re-listen to the archives, watch the videos, get the tips and the tools and the gems, and you'll be able to move really fast and far in your world. Okay?
Okay.
All right, many blessings, dear. Oh, wait, Jen, did you ever give the reading?
No.
Oh, give the reading. I'm sorry. Let her give the reading.
Okay. In the midst of chat room typing, researching, and that kind of thing, so I drew some cards as a reading for you. So, because you had asked what 2013 was going to look like, Brenda gave you some awesome information. I'm using Wisdom of Avalon cards by Colette Baron Reed. And so the beginning would be, it's the High Priestess card, which is about discernment and prescience and prophecy and vision. And so you're going to tap into these abilities and look at what needs to be birthed or rebirthed in your life. And it looks like rebirth because it's reversed. And so just tuning in, which my sense is that you have that ability, and to look at what needs to be rebirthed. And they're saying the water fairy, which is about feelings and emotions, and specifically about love, which is, and I was in my own little world, so I kind of heard what Brenda was talking about as I was tuning into the chat room people. But anyway, so it's about feelings and emotions, and specifically love. And what initially struck me as, as I read the cards, was that my goal is to be love in the world. That I'm really tuning in to that calling and purpose and my being on the planet and what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to be interacting with people, and it's supposed to come from love, specifically Christ-like, which is agape, love, being in relationship with other people in the highest sense of what love is to be. So then it's like, well, now I need to look at what all the bull crap is that gets in the way of doing that. And that's what they're saying that your reading is all about. And it sounds like Brenda gave you some information to look into those details.
So, I hope you enjoy your reading. Okay, and again, check back in, do the healing tools, and you'll go far. And we send you a lot of light and love so that you can be very successful. And in the chat room that just wanted a general reading, and it was Hawaii Linda, right?
Yes.
Okay. First thing is, I'm going to check your 9 body systems and the 5 rhythms. Is that where you want me to go? Yes. Okay. 5 rhythms. Oh, it's very strong. And fire. Okay, check out adrenals. What do you want her to do? Making your dreams come true. And so maybe you're feeling like you they're pointing to the healing tool called VAKS, V-A-K-S. That's visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and smell and taste. And one of the things is that in order to make your dreams come true, they're saying that your sensory system needs to become more involved in the future outcome. As far as the rhythms go, it's the elements, and there's, what do they got? Fire, winter, metal, water, and earth. And the earth's energy seems to be over. Oh, and of course they would have me talk about this now, and I don't even have all my papers up, so just give me a second. Donna Eden has some awesome information, and
What do you need?
No, I just told them before, I'm not going to talk about this on air, and then of course, what do they do? Yes, you are. There's a healing that, it's an actual just a breathing. I'm just going to see if I can read it to you. And wouldn't you know? So when it comes to the earth, it's about compassion. Either you have too much or you have too little of compassion. And the healing, or the tool of being able to do it, is cradling the baby. You take about 1 or 2 minutes to cradling the baby. And no, I do not have this up on my website, which I was going to have a whole section that talked about Donna Eden stuff, how to do this. So it was on my to-do list, and apparently they want me to talk about it now. Stand with your hands over your solar plexus and tenderly cradle your midsection as if you're holding a baby and rocking it. If you're watching the video, apparently I'm doing it. Imagine you are bringing the mercy you show others back to yourself. Center yourself and take a deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. Now, integrating your own energies is any stretch of the way. So stretching, you can do separation of heaven and earth. I can't remember if I have that on there. I don't think I have it on there. I made the video, I just haven't got it up. Bend side to side like you were exercising. You need to stretch the middle. And there's a lot more energies you can do. The one that pops into my mind is, I don't even know if she has a name for it. It has to do with the pull and snap. So one of the things is you reset your circuits, and some people say, well, I hate when you crack your knuckles. Well, I'm not cracking my knuckles. It's the, what would you call these? I guess it is the knuckles up here. But it's not the segments of my finger. It's the closest to my finger to the hand. And so what you're doing is you're resetting. Each one of these fingers actually goes to a particular system in you. And if you're resetting them, which I already reset mine, and so you can't really hear me crack my...
I can.
Now, the other part is when you're doing it, you can do it several different ways. Another way would be to grab hold of, and however you want to do it, and you're starting at the base of your finger and thumb, and you just start twisting the skin and back and forth. You don't have to be too brutal, and then when you're done, get to the tip, you snap off. And you do them with all the fingers. Do it nice and slow, not as fast as I am on the video. And you breathe in and out. And once you have gotten to the left hand done, go to the right hand and do it. What's going to happen is it's going to help clear and move the stagnated energy that's in this particular area. And when the energy don't move, it will cloud up the way you manifest and the way you emanate energy out, and as well as how you attract it in. So I would definitely say that it's very important to get that energy flowing. Then go and use the VAKS, V-A-K-S, and that's a healing tool that will help you manifest, to become clear of what you want. Get all of your sensory system involved in what you want. And for a card, because some people like to get just cards for as far as a reading, the first thing that we're going to go is right here. The Spirit of Place is number 4 in the Enchanted map, and it's reversed. And what it is saying is, don't get entangled in details or desires that obscure the truth of your situation. Step back and ask yourself, what is the real nature of my inquiry? Even exquisitely seductive hidden agendas cannot conceal this. Trust your intuition. And this is where the lens is, and that's where the stagnant energy interferes, and so that you cannot get a clear picture. The spirit of the place is whispering in your ear. You hold the power to tell the truth. And now you got to remember, the truth is that when you see something in somebody and you call it a flaw, or you see the truth and they're doing something wrong, remember, it's not about that. It's about your truth. It's about, are you holding yourself in respect and authenticity? And it's the only person you need to really tell the truth to would be you.
Yes.
So, first to yourself, then the world. Because once you start doing it with yourself, well, your authenticity comes through, and then the world already knows and don't have to second guess you or make you define it. It already knows. You can also distinguish between an essence that is true and one that is synthetic, which means you're fine-tuning where you're going to create the boundaries. I don't need to bring in, I used to, and I couldn't understand, especially when I was dating, why I would bring in such jerks. Why am I attracted to this? Well, the lens of the people was that I was supposed to bring them in, look like jerks. And once I cleared that lens, they weren't jerks, but I realized I wasn't compatible with them. I could be, I could force myself, I could lose myself, I could compromise, but in a relationship, it's not about compromise.
And then when you said, it really is the phrase, it's me, not you.
Yeah.
Don't.
It really is. Okay, so, be honest with yourself and remain willing to let your situation be revealed for what really is and not what you want it to be. Stop romanticizing about it. The biggest thing is that about romanticizing, and this can be with kids, anybody. My mother, I love the woman and everything else. She died, and then all of a sudden, I would have to say about maybe 10 years later, a psychic came up to me and says, your mom says to stop making her, put her on a pedestal because she wasn't that. And I'm like, what the hell did that lady say it to me? And then I realized it was a journey. I had my mother always there for me. My mother knew exactly what to say. And my mother's going, I didn't even know what to say when, that happened to you. I didn't even know how to love you or cradle you or get close to you. Mm-hmm. I didn't help you process. And in my mind, she was the best mommy in the whole world, which was stopping me from healing my deep issues. Okay? So anyway, an apple can't become an orange just as a dog can never be a bird. Are you trying to change someone or something to suit your agenda? Only when you see things as they truly are, you'll find a real treasure. So, what'd you get? And then we'll move on.
I got the card about dancing and celebrating. So it's about movement and dancing, and that may be part of the energy system you were looking at as far as moving and grooving, because you really do have to get your body moving in order to change some of the energy.
Well, didn't I say it had to do with the rhythms?
Perhaps.
And it's the rhythms, because once you move that earth meridian, or earth element, it is the rhythm, and once you start to open that up, again, creating yourself, showing yourself compassion, showing others, do what I said, and what will happen is you'll really get into removing that stagnant energy. Okay, so who and what's next?
Well, we lost that one caller, but we've got another one, and this is going to be the dream interpretation call.
Well, who's this? It's that one.
But they're...
Hello?
Hi.
Hi! You're on the air with Brenda and Jen, and how can we help you?
I'm the one that has the dream interpretation.
Sounds good. Alrighty.
Okay.
Now,
I wrote down some words, and then I've looked them up in dream moods.
Now, what we need to do is to help our callers understand. So, can you, Jen, or you, caller, call to let us know what the dream is, so I can kind of get up to speed?
Yeah.
We lost.
We lost it in the chat room because of how the chat
and
works.
I have no idea where it went. So, if you could
Okay,
tell us again.
Catch Brenda.
This is Margie.
Hi, Margie.
And hi. And what it was is, okay, I was at work. I was leaving work. I went to the parking lot to get in my car. I could not find my car. I looked all over the parking lot. So I had a friend of mine came out. We both looked for the car. We couldn't find it. He had to leave because he had to go to work. So I went back into the office building and was going to come back out and search car by car.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went out the door, I wasn't home. I was going out my back door of my house. I wasn't going out the office building anymore. I was going out my back door at home, and there on my driveway was my car. It was stripped down.
Stripped
All
down.
the thing was left was flat tires, my car mat, and just pieces of the frame. and they were all neatly piled in a pile in my driveway. And then I just woke up, and it's like, man, that is a different kind of dream.
It certainly is. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is that, do you have the word work, Jen?
I found, wait, I found job.
Okay, so, all right, start saying and then I'll pull what we needed. Go ahead, Jen.
To dream that you were looking for a job suggests that you are feeling unfulfilled and frustrated in current phase of your life. If you're applying for several jobs in your dream, then it suggests you need a clear direction. To dream about your current job suggests that you need to work harder or be more effective at work. There may be something or some task that may be done at once, or the dream may mean you are overworked or preoccupied with work. You need to make time for leisure and relaxation. If you dream that you are still working at your old job, then it suggests there's an old lesson that you need to learn and apply to a current situation.
Okay, that's the one I wanted, was old lesson. Go to parking lot.
Parking lot, to dream about this suggests that you need to slow down and take time from your daily activities.
All right, next, go to car.
Car. To dream that you are driving a car.
It's your ambition, and now she
Your
was
ambition.
not even into where. Go ahead.
To dream that you forget or can't find where you parked your car indicates that you are dissatisfied or unhappy with an aspect of your waking life. You do not know what you really want to do with your life or where you want to go. To see a parked car in your dream suggests that you need to turn your efforts and energies elsewhere. Where?
All right, now I want you to do backyard. I don't know if they have that.
I found back door.
Back door. All right, what do they say?
To see a back door in your dream suggests that you need to search a little harder to find an answer to your problem. Sometimes the solution may not be obvious. Alternatively, the dream may indicate that you're trying to find shortcuts to do things.
All right, so what I'm getting at is, remember, anybody in your dream is you. So go ahead and driveway. Go ahead.
To see or drive up to a driveway in your dream symbolizes an end to your journey. It also represents security and rest. Alternatively, it denotes your path toward achieving inner peace and finding your spirituality.
So what's happening is that you're seeking different aspects of you to help you find what is lost. Okay, so you have dedicated yourself to working really hard and overworked in a particular area, regardless if you love it or not. The point is you're not doing what you meant to come do. Okay, what I got when it comes to the background or backyard and all this, it's that governing meridian that's in our body that backs us up, that has our back. In this case, the door was open so you could find your car, which was that ambition. And when you started to look in the parking lot and when you started to look around, you realize what you're doing is that you're looking at old lessons. You need to slow down. Notice how things are constantly repeating themselves. The dissatisfaction, feeling lost, and not really finding the purpose of who you are. The ambitions you had were stripped down to where they were nicely piled and organized, where you could say, okay, yes, no, but they're saying that they want you to start over. You've got the skeleton, and let's build up. Let's find you. Let's find what you like and what you need. And it sounds like you don't really have to start from the beginning of getting a bitch slap. It looks like you're already ready to say, wait a minute, I like this on my car, I want this, I want that, and starting to find who you are. Do you understand?
Yes, that's kind of what kind of in an offhand way, that's kind of what I was thinking it meant too.
Yeah, because you're on a new journey.
It kind of needed me to like almost go back to the beginning and start over.
Well, not really the beginning as much as right where you are. It's in your front yard, which is your future. It is your journey. It's right there in front of you, but it was through the back way that you had to notice that you had to put everything on the back burner. You had to, but now you don't. You've already fulfilled what obligations and things you were supposed to do. Now it's your turn to say, wait a minute, I want these old patterns to be released. I want to discover who I am. My car, I get to choose what it looks like. I know that it's with me. It's home. It's in my driveway. It's my journey. And so you get to do it. So now my question is to find out, what do we need to do that needs to be resolved so that you are able to find everything you need?
two
I guess
song. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Oh, I haven't found what I'm looking for. Yeah, okay, so now we have to give a little guidance. So what's stopping her from being able to find what she's looking for, because maybe she doesn't know what she's looking for, and that is, okay, the movement. Now, do you have controlled, precise movements? Would meaning, you have to be perfect, you have to fulfill everybody else's dreams and wishes?
Do I feel like I need to?
Yeah, or you have.
Go track? Well, yeah, kind of in a way. Mostly my kids.
Okay.
Kind of help them find what they need to do. I've always tried to do that, or hasn't been successful, but...
Okay. Well, as you're
Yeah.
moving forward, your treasures, because the next card I got said they're already protected. So do know the angels are watching over your children, the things that your treasures. Now we have to find the treasure within yourself. That is meaning, it's not that you stop focusing on your kids, but you start to find that movement that says there's a mystery of who you are. There is this nature of your discovery. They want you to find your likes, the loves, as Jen would always put it, your loves.
Yeah.
And that is, what do you like? And in sometimes, as you're looking for your loves, you may feel something come up and say, oh, no, you can't have that. Because you're supposed to do this, this, and this. It's the supposed tos and the have tos that actually, yes, the rules that bind you. And trust me, I thought the world was going to have to come to an end. But my soul had woke up and said, you're doing this. And I'm like, I can't do this because I have to do this. I have to do that. And finally I said, that's it. I actually went on strike, and this was in the household. I was cooking, cleaning, taking care of everything, and letting everybody be themselves, but I couldn't be myself. And I realized, I hate cooking and cleaning and all this. So I actually had to go on strike and say, help me now. Because there was a story of a woman that always took care of everything. She got cancer, and then her family started to give in a little bit and start helping her out. But the moment she went into remission, everybody expected her to wait on them again. And I had to learn, so that lesson for me was, I had to learn boundaries. I had to learn boundaries. And I had to learn that the world doesn't fall apart just because I decided I ain't cooking supper tonight. Somebody else have a good idea. Let me teach you how to cook. So they're saying that it's taking and reconstructing the priorities, learning that those have-tos, and this is the hard part. Without tools, I thought the world was going to end. So I had to learn without EFT and meridian tapping to really just, push it to the edge. But you got tools, and you